Today I'm going to be doing a review over A Court of Mist and Fury by Sarah J. Maas, and this review is going to be a spoiler review, so if you have not read it, do not watch this review. I figured since it's the second book, you kind of can't talk about the second book without giving away what has happened in the first book. So I decided just to go ahead and do a spoiler review. If you're watching this video, that means that I am out of town. I decided to go ahead and pre-record all my videos for this week because I will be in Savannah, Georgia for the whole week and will not be back until the 17th. So I decided, what better time than to pre-record, and then I'll probably do like a vlog post when I get back. So on Monday the 17th, you'll see like a vlog of my big trip. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get started with the review. And I'm gonna first start out by saying that I was a little disappointed in this book. I didn't not like it, but I feel like for the hype that it had, I felt like it was gonna be better. I expected to give this book a 5 out of 5 stars, and I only ended up giving it a 3.5. Which, I mean, on Goodreads I rounded it up because obviously you can't do a 3.5, but obviously you know what it's about because if you're watching this, then you've already read the book. So I'm just going to kind of talk about my feelings and what I thought about how Sarah J. Maas wrote the book and all that jazz. So the first thing I want to talk about is the actual story. I really enjoyed the actual story, but I felt like it was too long. With that said, I think that maybe some of the stuff that made it long is probably going to come into play in the third book, but some of it I didn't really think was necessary right now. And so I thought that the book could probably have been cut in half and that there was just a lot of fluff in the book. But again, I didn't not like this book. It just wasn't what I expected it to be. The sex scenes in the book, at first I was like, ooh, yeah, some more adult content. This is cool. There was a little bit of it in the first book. But in the second book, there was way more than necessary, I felt like. Like, there would be a sex scene, and then the next chapter there would be another sex scene. And I'm like, okay, I feel like I just read this, and I really don't need to read it again. So again, that kind of plays into the fluff, I feel like. But that's just my thoughts on it. Some people really like that kind of thing, but for me, I'm like, if I wanted to read that, I would read it erotica. So now I did want to talk about Rhys and how I just did not like him in the first book. Obviously, I don't think anybody did. And then in the second book, he was just awesome. I'm very pleased with the change over the course of the books, and I'm excited to see and on one hand, I understand, the fact that Farah and Raysan, I can't ever say it. Anyway, how they ended up being mates was cliche and everybody knew it was going to happen. I hoped for it, so I was glad that it did happen. I guess you could say I'm a little bit cliche when it comes to books, and I like some of that kind of stuff that's overly done. I don't really care. I want that to happen. It makes me mad when I really want something to happen and then it doesn't happen. So I'm glad in this case that it did. And one thing that I really enjoyed was the fact that Elaine and Lucian ended up being mated at the end of the book. I was like, yes, I did not see it coming, and then it just happened and it was awesome. So yeah, very excited about that. Now as far as Tamlin goes, I think that a lot of people hate Tamlin, but I think that it's kind of understandable the way that he acted as far as being so overprotective. But I mean, I don't think that that's a right in any way, shape, or form, but I can understand why somebody would be protective. And I don't think that that's a reason to be like, oh, this relationship is over. In a sense, it should have been more like, you're being too protective, you need to chill out, or this is gonna be over. Or, this was the last straw for me, so you're either gonna turn it around or I'm gonna leave. I don't know. It seemed a little sudden, her departure from her feelings for Tamlin. I don't know. But when I read the first book, I was like, okay, I love Tamlin. Why? Because I knew that she was going to end up with Rayson because of, you know, seeing it on Facebook and Instagram and all that stuff. There was no way around it. I was going to see it, and so I knew she ended up with him. But I loved Tamlin in the first book, so I was very disappointed as to what happened with him in the second book. But with that said, I do feel like I would rather her be with Rhys than Tamlin, because Rhys is Rhys. And so yeah. And for the writing that Sarah J. Maas did, I feel like it was really good. The only thing I didn't like was just the extra sex scenes in it. I feel like there could have been like 2 or 3 rather than 5 or 6. But her writing is always top notch for me. She's one of my favorite authors. I love the Throne of Glass series, and I really liked A Court of Thorns and Roses. I really enjoyed that one, and I actually enjoyed the first one more than the second one. But I am excited for the third one that comes out in May. I did forget to mention the fact that Elaine and Nesta are turned into Fae now, and I really liked that part because I feel like that is going to bring them more into the story, and I really do like Nesta's character and Elaine's character. I think that they bring their personalities are a lot different than Farrah's, and I really want them to be in the third book a lot more, and I think with this change they will be. I'm curious to know what's going to happen with their dad, but again, that's all going to be in the third book probably. And yeah, so that is it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like and subscribe, and I would love to hear your thoughts on this book as well. Again, I didn't not like the book. I enjoyed the story. There was just a few things that I didn't like in it. So yeah, I'm gonna read the third book, and we'll see how I feel about that one. I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Bye!